We've got football, we've got soccer ball, and we've got softball. We're going to talk with the Chief Executive Officer of Softball Australia, David Pryles, who joins us on the line now. Good afternoon on this very cold Sunday afternoon, David.
Yeah, g'day, Craig. It is very cold, isn't it?
It is. Should be out playing softball.
Yeah, for sure, mate. For sure. Bring on the warmer weather.
Now, I know that you're new to the role, but how many softballers are registered in Australia?
Yeah, so very obviously new to the role, 2 weeks in, but our total participation stats nationally is around 150,000. Obviously, it's played a lot in schools where we're one of the 33 sports in the government-funded sporting schools program. So we're a top 15 sport in there. So, you know, anyone you talk to, I think, has played softball before. You know, we're looking forward to growing those stats as well.
I want to ask you a really, maybe a dumb question, David, but I reckon some people might not know the answer. What's the difference between softball and baseball?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's called softball, but it's a heavier ball. It's 7 innings. Obviously, you pitch the ball underarm rather than overarm. I suppose they're the main differences. It's a great sport to watch. We've been lucky enough to see the College World Series down here in Australia on ESPN2, and we've got an up-and-coming star of the game in Gabby Plain, who, as a 19-year-old, was pitching for Washington, and unfortunately they lost the series. But you know, the Australian public has been able to see her play, and she'll be back. She's on her way back to Australia now, and she'll be playing for New South Wales in the Under-23 Championships coming up.
It's a lot of championships coming up. I'm just looking at your excellent website, David, but of course of great interest will be the 16th Women's World Championship. That's, I think, early August in Japan. And now, does that do some sort of qualification for the Tokyo Olympics?
Yeah, correct, Craig. It's a really exciting time for the sport. So we're back in the Olympic Games in Tokyo, and the Women's World Championships in Japan in August is the first opportunity to qualify. There's only 6 countries that get to play. Obviously, it's the women's, the Aussie Spirit. Men's baseball is in it as well. Our men's team, Aussie Steelers, are 5th in the world, and they play in the World Champs next year. But yeah, so it's our first opportunity. Japan, obviously, go straight through to play. They're ranked. We're ranked 4th in the world now, and we're pretty proud of our history. We're the only Australian female team to have medalled at every single Olympic Games that we've competed in. So, a bronze in Beijing, a bronze in Sydney, a bronze in Atlanta, and a silver in Athens. So, we've got high hopes. There's a lot of hard work to go, but fingers crossed we can qualify firstly and then hopefully get a medal.
I know my friend Peter Eddebone, an Olympian, is one of her proudest moments in her life, representing and medaling with the Australian women's softball team. But just looking at the group we're in, we've got Japan, host nation, Canada, Italy, China, Great Britain, but then Venezuela and Botswana. How big is softball in Botswana, David?
Yeah, I don't think it's too big, Craig. As I said, we're ranked 4th in the world in the women's. We're behind the US, Japan, and Canada. So it's going to be a tough task, but it's one that we welcome. We're actually playing at the moment. Most of the girls are playing in the professional league in America, the NPF. So getting a fair bit of work under the belt there, and then they'll go into camp in Japan 10 days before. So we're not leaving any stone unturned.
David, how's the state of softball grounds? And this is not the only sport that has this sort of a problem where, vacant land which is used for sport often goes into disrepair, or the councils don't have the money, etc., etc. I know. Is Jells Park sort of still the softball epicentre of Melbourne?
Yeah, the Waverley Softball Association, it's huge in Jells Park. It's a facility which we're proud of. I think we're quite fortunate that we've played a lot of our international games in Blacktown, which is obviously the sporting hub of New South Wales and a legacy of the Sydney Olympics. We've got another really good facility in Queensland at Redlands, Mirrabooka in WA, and then another very good facility in Adelaide. So we do have quite a few international standard facilities, and we're working hard on bringing more opportunities and more international teams down to Australia. We play in the Asia Pacific Cup that we hold in Blacktown every year, which features China, Chinese Taipei, Japan, New Zealand, Italy, and hopefully we'll get the Philippines to come along next year. So we do have some good facilities. Obviously, it's always a challenge at grassroots level, but
Yep.
The government's very supportive, and we'll continue to work hard with the local councils.
Mate, it's been great to catch up. I'm sure that we'll talk to you before the World Championships, early August, up there in Japan. And how are you finding? I know you've only been there for 2 weeks, so I should explain that David and I had worked together for many years. David was with the Australian PGA Golf Tour.
Oh, right.
Did an outstanding job. So he's gone from little balls to larger balls.
That's correct, Craig. It has been a bit of a change, but always enjoyed working with yourself, and hopefully we'll make it up to the Gold Coast again for the PGA Champs.
Might have to have a jar or two up there, old boy.
Yeah, I think so. That'll be. I look forward to it.
Pryles, good to catch up. Congratulations on the job. You are now officially Macquarie Sports Radio weekend afternoon softball man.
Yes, our softball correspondent.
Softball correspondent. David Pryles, the new CEO, a terrific fella.